Hello folks, welcome back to Funkastri X. In the previous video, I show us what is about MartWeb, okay, in Funkastri X. I talk about MartWeb. In this video tutorial, I will be talking about the part 2 of what is MartWeb, okay. And in the previous video, we discussed a lot of things like MartWeb can be used to execute online tasks and other stuff like that, okay. We talked about a lot of things about MartWeb. Now, in this current video, I'll be discussing about okay, in this current video we have there was on the screen is users are expected to install MartWeb 1 to 10 in their mobile device for proper functionality. Okay, I said this earlier on the previous video as well, that users are expected to install MartWeb 1 to 10. Okay, because MartWeb 1 to 10 are called they are called MartWeb tab. Okay, they are called MartWeb tab. Generally, altogether, are all called MartWeb. Okay, they are all called MartWeb, and you can install them independently. Okay, like I said in the previous video, you can install them independently. That is just the way you install Chrome, you install Firefox, you install Opera Mini. Okay, that's just the same way you install MartWeb 1 to 10. You install MartWeb 1, you install MartWeb 2, you install MartWeb 3 until you get to install MartWeb 10. Okay, that's just the way it is. Okay, they run independently to each in yeah, they run dependently to each other while you install the independently. Okay, you install them independently and they execute dependently. Okay, that is it. So make sure that you did not skip any of the number. Okay, just MartWeb 1 to 10. Remember that MartWeb 1 is also called Mart Guide because the guide is there in it on how to use other MartWeb and how to configure all the MartWeb. Okay, on the next slide is MartWeb tabs can communicate to each other automatically. Okay, I said earlier, okay, I've said this earlier. I said something like this earlier, okay. MartWeb 1 to 10, they can communicate um, automatically to each other, okay. And the data link and the other information are transferred among this MartWeb. They are transferred across during a communication. Okay, you can communicate. The MartWeb 1 can communicate with MartWeb 2. MartWeb 2 can communicate with MartWeb 3. MartWeb 3 can communicate with MartWeb 4. MartWeb 4 can communicate with MartWeb 5 till MartWeb 10. And MartWeb 10 can then communicate with what? MartWeb 1. It's just in a cycle format. Okay, that's the default configuration. The cycle format is the default configuration and on how they will communicate. But you can on the during configuration process, you can set up MartWeb 1 to communicate with MartWeb 3 or either of those. Okay, either of the existing MartWeb in your device. You can set them, but by default they are in a cycle configuration format. Okay, they are in a cycle configuration format in such a way that MartWeb 1 communicates with MartWeb 2, while MartWeb 2 communicates with MartWeb 3. So, and across, that's how the data are transferred across other MartWeb. Okay, data are transferred other MartWeb. Okay, like the data that can be transferred there is the URL link, the existing page, okay, can be transferred across. Okay, that for this current version, the existing page can be transferred across. Okay, existing page can be transferred across. Okay, and then other information are also transferred. Okay, but the existing page are transferred across. Okay, then on the next slide is how you can set up the automatic configuration. When you click on the menu button, you will see the automatic configuration. Okay, let me show you on the real device. Okay, my real device, just the way it is, so that you will not get confused. When I click on the MartWeb 1, I will open once the screen opens. Then at the top right corner, this vertical dot at the top right corner, the vertical dot, just click on it. You will see automatic operation. Okay, you will see automatic operation. So that is it. You will see automatic operation. That is it. The one I highlighted like this is automatic operation. So that is it. Okay, when you click on it, sorry, let me go back. When you click on it, you will see how to set up the automatic operation. This is the time for the data transfer to be transmitted. This is the web browser, the browser behavior. Okay, this is the browser behavior. the browser behavior down below. That okay, from this transfer browser link down to the save button is the browser behavior. You can set up the browser behavior, the countdown timer before the current web browser will shut down to open another browser. That is this countdown timer. Okay, the URL. Do you want the MartWeb to transfer browser link data? Okay, that is it here. Do you want MartWeb to transfer the data link data? Okay, the browser URL link data. Okay, if you mark it, it will transfer it to the next page. Otherwise, it will use the existing page of that one. Okay, then choose the use default package name. This is the place that you can set up the setup. If you uncheck it, it will tell you to enter the browser. This is the place you can enter Opera Mini, Chrome, or other any of your own web browser that you want it to communicate with. Okay, to transfer the data there and execute it there. Then for the URL default, if you set it to default, it will use to tell you to choose an existing MartWebs. Okay, the existing MartWebs. It will tell you to choose the existing MartWeb in your device. Then it will tell you to choose the MartWeb that you installed in your device, the one that you want it to execute once the countdown time expires. That's when the countdown time ends up to 0. It will be the MartWeb that it will execute. Okay, that's when before after the countdown time counts to 0. The next one is the delay. Okay, when it starts, how if the data is transferred, okay, to the next web browser. Okay, let me say that this is MartWeb 1, and MartWeb 1 opens automatically, and when it opens, how long the delay for it to also execute the browser, the URL. Okay, the URL, how long it will take to execute the URL. That is what you are seeing here. That is what you are seeing here. Execute your URL. Okay, is the delay before it executes that URL that it received from another MartWeb. So the delay, it will, how long it will delay before executing that URL data. That is the link data it received from another MartWeb. That is it here. Then do you want, okay, this quit app after executing a selected browser. Okay, guys, this thing is this part is talking about if if this web browser executes MartWeb 2. Well, this is MartWeb 1, it will execute MartWeb 2. That is after this countdown time executes, after the countdown time finishes, it will execute MartWeb 2. And once it executes MartWeb 2, okay, do you still want MartWeb 1 to be available in the background? Okay, do you want MartWeb 1 to still be available in the background? That's what it's telling you about this true or false. That is the down section below. Okay, do you want MartWeb to still be running on the background? You know that if it is running, that means it's still consuming data. It's still consuming, it's still consuming memory of your device. Okay, if it's still running on the background. So if you set it false, it will not, once it opens MartWeb 2, it will just shut down. That's MartWeb 1 will shut down. That is this particular MartWeb 1 that we are talking about. This particular MartWeb 1 that we are talking about. That is the smart guide. Okay, once it opens once it opens MartWeb 2, it will shut down by itself. That is if when you set up when you use force as the value to manage memory. Okay, to set memory will not be consumed. A lot of memory will not be consumed. Okay, this all this MartWeb. Okay, let's go. After that, you save. You do save. After that, you will do save. But okay, I will show you to first tell me to first log in. Okay, but I will show you how to set up all this in the future video. Okay, so let's go back to our slide. Okay, let's go back to our slide now. Then this slide have shown us about this. Okay, automatic operation. Then each MartWeb has two types of login. Okay, like I try to save that and it tells me to log in first. It has two types of login. Okay, I try to save the automatic operation for this configuration that I was talking about. I try to save it to tell me first login. So that is not only that, there are certain things here that you will not access without logging in. Okay, you must log in before you access them. Like workspace will tell you login first, and the other MartWeb, mini phone capsule X will tell you to log in first. These special tools will tell you to perform in-app login. We call this in-app login. Anytime you want to use a tool, and anytime you want to use a tool and it tells you to perform a login, okay, it will tell you to perform login first before you use the tool. That means you have not done your in